Alright, so find ourselves in the large and lovely city of Al, um, largest city in the world at this time. Um, a warm summer day, uh, quite hot actually. Um, the world Amana is rather unique in that it has its own set of rings around it, which rather unfortunately collect a lot of extra light onto the people below during the summer and block more in the winter, so summers are rather hot and toasty. But no matter, life still goes on. We find ourselves in a unsuspecting tavern in the middle of the city, where we find a Mr. Hyro sitting in a back room where he's been told to meet. When he is approached by another individual who is also told, a halfling by the name of Wendell. You have not previously met.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Are you the gentleman I was supposed to meet here?
Based on that, probably not. I was told to meet somebody here too.
Well, I suppose we're waiting for the same person. I'm Wendell. Good to meet you.
Arrow.
You sit down and enjoy pleasantries over a glass of ale. Sit down, wait for a bit longer, and before you know it, the individual who you were waiting for arrives. Phelan Glimlar, a elf thief that been your contact as you've been joining the guild. It pulls aside the curtain to the private room that you're meeting in. Ah, good. Two of you here already.
How many are expected to show up?
Oh, I think we're expecting 4 today, but we'll see how that goes.
It seems bold to have that big of a meeting out.
It is bold, but nothing that unusual. But it'll be fine. Fine, I'm sure. So he sits down and grabs a bite to eat as well to wait for the rest to arrive, and a couple minutes later, a goblin walks in with a pet.
What kind of a pet?
You see a little dinosaur-like creature.
Oh, it's adorable. Is it safe to pet?
Sometimes. You can try.
Wendell will, of course, give it a go.
How does your pet react?
Yeah, make it 10.
Okay, go ahead and roll with some animal hand. I don't think this companion is too fond of.
Wendell
No,
will
he
keep
kind
his
of
fingers
growls
to
at
himself.
you.
Um,
Better luck next time.
Still, it's adorable.
Phelan turns sort of bold to have such a companion in town, but sure you two get along quite well.
We do. We do. So who are all of you?
Oh, I'm Wendell. Fellow associates know me as Padfoot.
Hmm.
Hyro. And you are?
Nyx. And this is Fluffy.
Sorry, did you say Fluffy?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Just gonna give a little confused state glare at it.
That's
He's
pleasure
gonna
to-
growl at you.
and Fluffy?
Mm-hmm. That's what
Okay.
I said.
Look, the missus has a dinosaur. You don't argue with that.
No,
As long
no.
as he's effective in the field.
We wouldn't have recruited her if we didn't see promise.
I mean, I've known a few Fluffies before, but never ones that look like that.
I mean, I can imagine she's just playing on words, like, you know, the bodybuilder's tiny.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. So you guys sit
Doesn't
around.
sound like it makes sense, but on with what we're here for.
Yeah,
I
specifically.
can show you what
are
my
we?
I can show you what Fluffy can do. He can show you.
Maybe we should save that for later.
Okay.
Don't want to raise too much of this.
I wasn't. They were.
So you guys sit around and eat and drink for a couple minutes longer. Phelan looks around, he pulls back the curtain to glance out into the room. I don't think our last person's going to show up at the moment. We best move on without him. So here's how this is going to go. We're going to, one at a time, get up, go through behind the counter to the back room. There's a storeroom there with a symbol that he... Open the door, go inside, and we'll be back there.
Sounds
I'll
good.
nod.
Okay.
Better that. Oh, no, not better. Okay, yeah, no, that was... Wendell, you're being rather stealthy at the moment.
Yeah, when basically, the guy's giving us the instructions, and Wendell is just gone.
Oh, alright.
That seems a little excessive. I don't think he said we need to be stealthy to go back there. I'll wait 5 minutes and then I'll just kind of casually walk back there. I'll walk like I know where I'm going, so as to not arouse suspicion.
Yeah, Phelan himself hadn't left yet by this point. He turns to you. Free to do it however you wish, however you feel the need. And then you can proceed to walk back there, like you know.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. You see, if you walk fast enough with the clipboard, nobody questions anything.
Mm-hmm. Put on the hard hat and the orange vest and...
Unless
exactly.
the clipboard is bloodstained. I found that out the hard way.
Even then, I still think it has some effect.
It does, but it has the opposite effect of what you want.
I was the same with doctor. Nobody will question that.
I mean, they might question why you had a clipboard during surgery, but you know.
I forgot how to do my surgery. I had the notes though. I should read them off while I had the patient
And
open.
the nurse just holds it up there for me.
Yeah, she knows that I want to look at it.
Blocks
All
the
right, I gotta make a
bleeding,
decision
pinpoint.
here. Oh no, wait, it was over here. I assume I'm able to get back there without any issues.
Yeah, you're back now. You see the marked door and head inside where Wendell is waiting. Phelan gets up and follows not far behind you.
I'll go in a few minutes later.
Okay. So you all end up back in this back storeroom, you know, bags of flour and lining the sides, and so you all saw that symbol on the door, the symbol that I don't have in front of me at the moment, but you saw it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Know that symbol. It'll come in handy. And then he walks to the back of the storeroom and gives a knock on the back wall, which after a moment slides open. You step inside and you see a small teleportation circle. Along with another thief guarding the room.
Teleportation, huh?
This is an integral part of our security. We
Can't say I've ever tried one. And with that, Wendell just steps right on top of the platform.
The rest of you all follow suit and hop on, and in one go, you all teleport away. And in a flash, you find yourselves in a small room with a second teleportation circle in it, and Phelan nods at the wizard sitting on a stool nearby and turns around to all of you. Welcome to the Underhand. Come on, I'll show you around.
I will follow him wherever he's showing us.
Give a nod to the wizard.
So, have a tap room over here. All the food you can eat and drink. Already paid for, no need to worry about it.
Well, that's always handy.
Indeed. We take care of our workers. And our service prices like that.
Fantastic.
Back here behind us is a training room should you need to practice up on your skills, or a place where you can come and do so. It has a little bit of everything you might need in there. Training dummies, weapons if you need to try out something. A pit you can practice fighting each other. Please don't kill. Those bits never. Over here we have our infirmary. Get a bit bruised up out in the field, which happens sometimes. And you can come in here, get some extra rest. We have staff doctors. Good people to know and be on the good side. We'll make our way around here. This is our information room. This is where you need information. These people, if it exists, they'll know how to get it. And of course, their services are not free. If you want their help, it'll cost you. Bet you'll be making so much money, won't be a problem. So, let's move right along. The most important piece here, keeps our whole operation running, is our job board. You see a nice, large board with all sorts of jobs posted on it. When you're looking for work, where you come. Pick something off the board and away you go. Get a nice full tankard of ale for Wendell.
So yeah, Wendell just comes up from behind everybody, sipping on his ale, looking at the job board.
Seems like a pretty big operation you have going on here.
It is. We pride ourselves on being the largest and best thieves guild in the city.
I would say it reflects that.
Yes, we've built up quite a reputation, and we hope you'll carry that on with the work you do.
I'll nod to that.
Let's head over here. This is financial services. They provide a number of things. They can keep your things safe. They'll pay out any contracts you've completed. We can also provide some additional things like lines of credit should you need a little bit extra. Please keep in mind, don't steal from our own board. Not that you could if you tried. Put quite a bit of work into preventing that.
Yes, it wouldn't be a good look if the guild got stolen from.
The entire inside of here is inside of an anti-magic field to prevent any sort of magical usage within here. And the entire outside of these walls are warded to prevent egress from any way other than the doors.
Yes, what kind of work do you guys specialize in? Or is it more general purpose?
General purpose, mostly. We pride ourselves on not turning away any job that we are suited to handling. We got our name, the Underhand, because we take the jobs that the hands of the king disregard, that they wouldn't touch, or too incompetent to do, or what have you, or against the law. We do a little bit of everything. Work for all sides. Whoever's willing to pay, they can get our service. So, moving right along. We have... I'll step around these large barrels here.
I'll just plow through them.
And we have one of our favorite rooms. Anything you need, or maybe not anything you need, but many things you might need, you can buy within here. Weapons, armor, equipment, even potions.
Well, that's rather handy.
It helps us keep a lighter footprint on the outside world by not having to visit shops for basic goods quite so frequently. And last but not least, the dormitory. You'll each have your own bed in here with a lockbox. The toilets in the back at the end if you need them. Quite the reach in his arms there. Doors from across the room.
I'm a man of many talents.
That's what mage hand's for.
Yeah. That you really, we've all got mage hands.
So, well, welcome aboard. We typically will provide some assistance on the first couple of contracts that you complete, just to make sure things go smoothly and you get the idea for how things go. So, unless you have further business first, let's just go see what's available on the job board. And
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I'm looking forward to getting some work done.
so Phelan goes over, looks at the board, scans it over for a moment. This looks like a good first job. And he rips one of the papers off the wall. It says here that a goblin has stolen a valuable trinket of someone. They're paying money for us to retrieve it and return it. Easy enough.
Sounds like a good starting job for us here.
Exactly.
Seems pretty simple and straightforward.
But I don't want to completely hold your hands the whole way, so I will hand this over to you and let you tell us how you would go about this, and we'll see how things play out. One thing I will note about this that will be could be useful, or if you guys want to use it, you guys should have access to a couple pages there. There's the job overview, and then there's the player's notes. So the player's notes portion of it, you should be able to edit that. So if you want to add any notes in there, I'll have that available for all the missions. That way you can keep track of notes and stuff in one place.
Where is it at?
On the return a trinket, there should be a player's notes page. Hit the little pencil edit icon to the right side there, and
I see a little leaf thing, and that's it.
click on player's notes, and then in the main window there, the right of player's notes.
Oh, there it is.
I'm thinking at least a dozen, and then we just like release them in his shop, right?
It'll cause chaos.
Exactly. While he's trying to chase down all the evil monkeys, we go and get the thing.
Or to save on postage, we'll just poison him with this.
We could use poisonous evil monkeys, I suppose. Or I guess that would make them venomous, wouldn't it? I can
Yeah,
never remember that right.
if they were poisonous, they would just kill themselves.
Yeah,
They need to
that's
be
right.
venomous evil monkeys.
Well, maybe our pet wrangler could find us some venomous evil monkeys.
Look over to her goblin wrangler.
Yes. Let me just call my guy, and I'll get some evil monkeys.
But they gotta be venomous.
Yes, the whole thing hangs on them being venomous.
But not too venomous. Like, enough to make somebody, like, really sick. Like, oh, maybe if they give somebody diarrhea, that would be a good thing. Well, I mean, not for us, but I mean, for the goblin. Not you, the goblin, but the Stormmetric goblin. Because if he had diarrhea, then he'd be in the bathroom for a long time. We'd have plenty of time to search his shop.
Quite a legitimate point. Certainly one valid option that you could go about doing so.
It should also be fairly obvious that Wendell is not the brains of the operation here. He's incredibly good at what he does. Just not super bright.
Either way, this seems like a very good operation for us to test the waters of the city with.
Oh, I don't think we should test the waters here at the city. Have you seen what people have been putting in that place? Ugh.
That's why you've got to test it before you go in or you drink it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Just drink ale. It's safer.
Thank you, Phelan, for the introduction as well as the tour. I look forward to working here.
Good, good. We look forward to having you. I'm curious, what is your plan moving forward? Retrieve this trinket.
Wendell looks over at Hira next.
I figure we should scout out the location. We already know that he has a shop in the southern market. If we find a shop, we could.
It's just one guy. How bad can it be? I send Fluffy in to get the job done.
Well,
Presumably, we don't want to
supposed
cause
be-
too much of a ruckus. We want to get in and get out. We don't need to make everybody in the market aware of us.
But she does make a point, you know. It is another goblin. Maybe Nyx could, like, distract him.
That could work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I could just go in through the back or something.
If there is a back, we'll have to scout it out.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I
We
guess I
don't-
could come in from the top. There's usually a top.
Usually, it's dangerous to make too many assumptions.
I mean, how many is too many? Because I usually make a lot.
I'd borderline on one assumption usually hits too many. It's better to know what we're going into, not just
Oof.
assume we can figure it out.
I think you're overthinking this.
The more assumptions there are, the more things that can go wrong.
So I
I
think the
think you're
hero is going to figure out the plan, and then we're going to be the ones to enact it. I think that's where we're going to start off.
Phelan turns to Hero. So, Hero, it looks like you've been given lead on this contract. Our
Seems
first
like
move.
it. First move would be to find his shop in the market.
Would Wendell happen to know where it's at? Is it in the poorer districts by chance?
You maybe don't know this shop particular, but you'd know at least the market that it's in. It's Denant Market. It's a small market on the southern end of the city, just off the coast. Definitely on the poorer side.
Then I might know some of the people, some of the merchants and stuff in the area.
Right.
Sorry, Doggo saw somebody and he had to make sure that they were aware.
Good. Good doggo.
I suppose the first thing we'll do in the area is see if he happens to just have a bright sign anywhere or something that just says Prasserm's shop or something like that. While we walk through.
No bright big sign that says Prasserms over it.
Damn.
Wendell is going to
not a casino.
basically wander around and look to see if he happens to spot a familiar and friendly merchant face anywhere. And if so, we'll go over and chat them up and basically ask them where this goblin, where his shop is.
Yeah, so you do actually find someone that you have interacted with before, and they greet you, and after some small talk, they point you over in the right direction, which happens to be over this way.
Ah. Hey, thanks so much. And, if you need any help, just give me a holler sometime. I'll be around.
Can't be that guy. That guy doesn't look fat.
That's a picture from the shoulders up.
I
And
see a fat man. A fat man's shoulders are broader than that.
I also don't have infinite pictures of goblins, so that's what you get.
I
You just
mean-
gotta know the right artists.
I was gonna say, why don't you have infinite pictures of goblins? I mean, not saying that it's a fetish, but
But it could be.
roll 34, man. Roll 34.
Yeah, so you see Brasserm over there. He's got a fish shop that he's selling freshly caught fish out of. Wendell goes blending into the crowd.
Yep, just looking to see if there's any way into his stall here, other than directly accessing that.
I'm just kind of looking in the front, mostly looking at his character to see if there's anything that might have like a twinkle of light that might be reflecting it like a crystal. I know it said it glows in the moonlight, but I'm seeing if maybe he might have it on him, like he might have made it into a necklace or anything, or if it might be reflecting outside the front of his shop.
No, you don't see any sort of necklace or anything like that on him, or anything bright and shiny. Wendell, you do see that the main entrance does seem to be right behind his stall. But his house also has a rear entrance, and there's also seems to be a lattice that leads up to a upstairs window.
Ah. Okay. Well, if possible, I'm going to try to clamber my way up there.
Okay. Let's see. That would be climbing. So give me an athletics.
Would acrobatics work?
Probably not in this case, because it's basically just raw strength to climb up there.
Okay.
That's decent enough, though. It's fairly easy to climb for someone small as yourself.
Okay. Well, while they're continuing to look around, I'm going to see if I can slip in there and just take a quick look around.
Okay. So you slip inside. You see a fairly modestly decorated bedroom in there. You've got a bed in one corner. You've got a dresser on another wall. Nice large windows out to the facing the marketplace. Even a small rug in the middle of the floor.
Okay. So, checking the usual suspects. The bed, under the rug, dresser, places along those lines before we go into the not so usual places.
Alright, you do find a small lockbox under the bed.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can't get that open.
Alright.
I'm keeping an eye on yonder boy up front. If he starts to head back inside, I'm going to make a move.
Yeah, I was watching for that too.
Alright, Wendell, you seem to be struggling with the lockbox a little. Not popping open real easy for you. But, Hero, it's funny you mentioned that, because I was just about to say, that in the press room, he turns around and opens the door and heads inside for a moment.
As he spins around, so is there like a stall out here?
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Silent Image because I kind of took note of a couple of people shopping around. So I'm going to take note of like somebody I saw that would have been up here shopping around. I want to make a Silent Image that looks like them around there. And then while Silent Image is active, I'm going to use Mage Hand, and I want to basically mimic a Mage Hand with the image, and I'm going to pull the I'm going to start like rattling the thing with them. Start shaking it. The strongest of the Mage Hand can, because I know it doesn't have a whole lot of power. It's got, what, 10 pounds of force, basically? It can't carry more than 10 pounds. Start shaking it, maybe start picking up food and dropping it on the ground, or just chucking it at, like, throwing it in his direction. And if he comes out, I'm just gonna start fucking hoofing it. I'm gonna make eye contact and start hoofing it to the north. And then, like, once it, if he follows, I want to round the corner and just disappear. Have it disappear.
Man, he's got plans.
I do. I was ready for this. Just throwing food at him until he comes back out.
Yeah, he turns around as walking inside.
I take a fish and I fucking throw it at him.
What's wrong with you? Help you?
I want to throw another fish at him.
Alright,
Wendell breathes a sigh of relief as the guy steps back out. Starts working on the lock more.
Okay, it'll take you a couple minutes for your retry, but we'll save that roll for just a moment while this whole situation goes down outside.
Fiasco, I believe.
Yes.
Called it.
So he's trying to talk to the silent image, which is obviously silent.
I just keep picking up fish and I just like drop. At this point, like I've thrown two at him. I'm just gonna pick one up and drop right in front of him while keeping eye contact with the image just staring him down.
What is wrong with you? Perfectly good fish you're throwing about.
I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna throw it behind me now. So I like throw one back here now. Did I turn around and look at him again? Yeah, I think I'd be like right around here, so I got a little bit of a distance there before he gets too close. That way you can't just jump me. As he approaches me, I'm gonna run up here.
Let's see. Is there a limit to how fast your illusion can move?
It says it can make it look as it's moving. You can go up to 60 feet.
Okay. Okay,
It doesn't necessarily say a speed.
Okay, so it's an illusion, I guess, whatever speed it moves at.
And because it's the image, I can make it look like it's running. So he's basically going to start running and dodging people so that he doesn't give it away. The mage hand would also dissipate. I'm going to have it run to, I think, over here to be about the limits. I'm going to have him dart behind the building, and then it'll fade away and disappear once he's out of sight. That way he goes around the building looking for it.
Give me an Arcana check to have your image avoid other shoppers as it's running.
To make it look more realistic.
Alright, not too bad. It seems that he is not paying super close attention, so...
He's so pissed about the 4 fish on the ground.
He is chasing after it before... He stops about there, though, about the time that it runs around the corner. Shouts some obscenities in Goblin before jogging back to the shop.
As he's come back, I'm gonna walk up. What happened here? All this good fish gone to waste.
Some guy, he shows up and starts throwing fish about with a magic hand. And he runs off. Kids these days.
Did you by chance see who it was?
No. I didn't get the... No, wait! It's that guy right there! And he points to the guy that you copied the image from.
He walks back over this way. Here, I'll go get the guard. You apprehend him. I'm gonna run away and like go keep an eye. I'm gonna like run over here and keep an eye on him. And just like hide from over here. Watch it as he like tries to catch him.
He leaps over his stall, a fish in hand.
I get him.
Slaps the unsuspecting shopper across the face with the fish. Before proceeding to grapple him and pin him to the ground. The whole time the shopper is completely confused as to what's going on while the goblin is, shouting him, "Ha, I got you now! Pay for those fish. You owe me for 4 fish." And here, are you actually getting the guard, or are you just getting
I'm watching. I'm not getting the guard. I didn't get him. I just said I would.
He just ran off to go.
Yeah. New city, who dis?
I mean, hopefully the guard might show up. You never know.
So, eventually, Prasserm gets the guy back up to his feet and kind of, still in hand, walks him over and says, "You owe me 4 silver."
So, have I heard the shopkeeper talk? Like, am I close enough over here to hear the situation?
Give me a perception check to make it out over the
I just need to. Oh hell yeah!
Nice. Yeah.
Alrighty. So I hear his voice. I know what it sounds like. I'm gonna have him scream "bastard." So I'm basically gonna have it spawn like right where he's at, just gonna scream "bastard." right at him in his voice. I don't know if I can actually make it sound like a word or does it have to be a scream. I don't know if I can actually just make it a word or not.
It says, or any other sound you choose.
Oh,
That includes, it can be your voice, someone else's voice, a lion's roar.
Is it one word or is it just like, how are we going to limit this then?
It's for as
Can it be a
long as
line?
the spell lasts.
Oh, so it's just one action, so I get 6 seconds roughly.
Yeah.
If we're going to use
So
that logic.
You could just do like a string of curses.
You motherfucking bastard cocksucker! Just in his voice screaming. I'll never pay you, bastard! I fucking hate goblins! Think about it as racist too, why not?
So you've tried to portray this other shopper as racist.
A racist
Against goblins, obviously.
Against goblins.
Well, you know, they've got those tiny hands, so you can't really trust them.
Oh, he's also fat. Maybe he fucking hates fat people too, I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
You fat fuck goblin bastard. Fuck your fish.
I'm not even going to make him roll for that. The goblin clearly does not like that. He has taken great offense to this. And as he stares directly at his unbeknown shopper and says, "Oh, you don't like my fish, do you?" And proceeds to force feed raw fish to this shopper. And it's not even the ones that were on the stall.
The good ones.
He picked up one of the ones off the dusty, dirty floor and is proceeding to feed it whole to this shopper.
While that's happening, Fluffy's gonna go start eating the fish too.
I mean, might as well. You don't want all those delicious fish to go to waste that were on the ground.
Of course not.
Ooh, you could have Fluffy like pick one up and carry it over and drop it off to the goblin.
Bring him one of the fucking ones on the ground, put it right next to him to feed it.
Yeah.
Like Fluffy's just being helpful. Here, have another one. Here, feed him this one too.
He sees Fluffy holding the fish out for him. Like, he takes it, before registering that's a dinosaur. And he's like, he looks at the dinosaur for a moment and, "This day just keeps getting weirder and weirder, man." And he proceeds to slap the shopper with this new fish.
I gotta stop eating my own fish, man.
It's got to be a trout.
Mm-hmm.
Getting slapped with a trout. Oh, it's classic. So is this enough of a distraction that it's allowed me to try this lock again?
I was actually just going to get back to you, yes. So
hope
while
so.
all this is going on, we jump back over to Wendell, who is, with some more careful manipulation, able to pick the lock of this lockbox open.
Excellent.
That's pretty accurate with what is happening.
Right?
And you open it up, and inside you see an assortment of crystals and gemstones sitting inside. All sorts of colors and shapes and sizes.
And one of them is probably the one we're looking for?
Probably.
The only thing was it glows in the moonlight, but it's midday, so...
Yeah, that was the only identifying information you were given.
Yeah, frustrated, Wendell is just going to dump the entire box.
Well, let's say take them all, it's
into
fun.
his pouch. And then make sure that the latch locks back again, and then slides the lockbox back underneath the bed, exactly where you found it.
Okay.
And then out the window and back down.
Once I see Wendell, I'm gonna start walking around. Like, I'm gonna make sure I go the long way back around to get to Phelan, like over here. So as to try and avoid being seen by the goblin again. As soon as I see Wendell, I'm gonna basically back out.
Okay.
And Wendell's going to try to blend back in with the rest of the crowd.
It should be pretty easy given the fucking carnage going on. To be fair.
Does a stand-up
Well, yeah,
job
but
at it too.
the thing is, it's the goblin might not notice, but the goblin's not the concern. The concern are the innocent bystanders that are just standing around the market that just happen to notice a halfling climbing out of a window.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah.
Well,
See,
but
Wendell's not the brightest, but he has got really killer instincts when it comes to his work.
fortunately for Wendell, between his stealth check and the fact that there is a rather
Pandemonium.
there's pandemonium, a very unusual scene breaking out right in front of you. Everyone around you is fixed on this goblin slapping a shopper with a fish and trying to shove one down his throat.
So as Wendell approaches, I'll be like, I assume you've got it. Let's get out of here.
I want to see what happens.
It's best not stick around at the scene of the crime.
The
guards are showing up. Let's go.
Fine.
About this time is when some of the hands of the king show up and start prying the goblin off of the shopper.
And we're already going back the way we came. He was none the wiser.
Well, I'm
But
pretty
we were
sure
the richer.
None of us were really wise, you know. But hey,
I don't know.
win some, lose some.
I didn't even have to get my hands dirty. When I went over to talk to him, I didn't even touch a fish. I just fucking went over to talk to him and then said I'd get the guards.
So you guys begin heading back. Phelan takes you to a different teleportation room to reach back to the safe house.
Excellent.
He explains that there are a number of them all throughout the city. They change fairly regularly as they're either compromised or certain needs arise in other places. But they spend quite a bit of time and effort to develop their own methods of teleportation. They're restricted to only the demi-plane that their safe house resides on, and they can only go a short way as the demi-plane is, another plane but sort of located within the heart of the city itself. So they can get you in and out of there to anywhere in the city pretty quickly, but their method of teleportation doesn't do much good if you need to leave.
So it's kind of like the sewers.
Sorta.
I almost consider them like waypoints.
Yeah.
They're fast travel points.
Yeah, fast travel points, but they only work within the city.
Yeah.
So you guys return back to the safe house once more.
And once we're back, I'll ask Wendell. Did you get the? Did you find the crystal in there?
Well, Wendell makes a beeline for one of the tables, assuming that
It's like as I'm asking, you're just walking away.
that we're all going to kind of gather around and obviously get some food and something
Fair
to
enough.
drink, because I mean,
Mhm.
food
It's
and
also
drink.
free, so
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
might as well.
and so yeah, when you ask him if he's gotten it, I think so. I really wasn't sure exactly what it looked like. I mean, since it was daylight and everything. So, and he just pulls out the formerly empty sack and overturns it. So I just took all of them.
Suppose given the situation, it's probably the best way to handle it. Better than having to go back to that scene again. Whatever's left will be just considered a bonus for the mission.
Well, I figured as much.
So, where is Rena Wilinga? Is she here, or are we gonna have to go find her out in the city?
Or perhaps our patron will be the one to take it to her.
Yeah, I think we leave it here.
Yeah. So for this one, you specifically just have to return the correct crystal to the bank here. They'll pay out the contract and see to it that the crystal.
I suppose the easiest way would just be to wait until nighttime when we can take them all outside. Then we can guarantee which one's correct and then turn that one in for the reward.
Is the moon going to be out tonight?
I have no idea.
It was a bit overcast today, but there were pockets of open sky. Might get lucky enough.
Sure, if we're out there all night, it has to appear for at least a few minutes, right? There's got to be some break in the clouds.
I would assume that they know exactly what it looks like, what they're looking for.
Yeah, but if the actual patron isn't here, and or if the actual quest giver, whatever, I don't know, what are they called? Would it be the patron? If the actual patron isn't here, and we're only providing it to somebody here to give back to them, then the person that we give to might not know exactly what it looks like. And I'd hate to give the patron the wrong one, only for them to tell us we gave them the wrong one.
I guess? Or I just figured we could give it to him and he would be able to relay the bag of gems to the person who hired us and they could pick out the gem that was stolen. I mean, this is the Thieves Guild. I stole that in their city. They deserve their cut.
I suppose. It's not the worst way of handling it.
I mean, it is part of the rules. Any thievery done within the city limits is considered to be done under the good graces of the Thieves Guild, and therefore a cut needs to be given to the Thieves Guild. I mean, they were pretty clear about that when I apprenticed.
Well, the Thieves Guild does take the necessary cut out to pay before it even.
Well, yeah, but you didn't get your cut of the gems that I just stole.
Usually consider that, bonus
Oh,
for whoever brings those in.
That's what I was hoping it would be.
Too much to keep track of, trying to divide that among everyone. There's a little extra encouragement to, do good work out there, and also, comes with risk,
this
That's
is
why-
true.
That goblin might not miss, a single gem missing, but he's certainly going to notice all of them missing. Whether or not that comes back to you remains seen, but they seem to do a pretty good, so.
That's why I feel like giving the patron the whole bag would be hasty. We might not get all the ones that we're due back. There could be some lost in transit.
I mean, you're not calling our patron a crook.
But if we're not actually dealing directly with the patron, if somebody else, if
Well,
we hand it back
okay.
to somebody else and they hand it to the patron to investigate the bag.
So just for clarification on the wordage that I'm using, the patron is the gentleman here who is bringing us into the Thieves Guild.
Oh, I was
The
referring to it
The
as...
employer would be the one who has the job posted on the board.
I was referring to it as the other way around.
Yeah.
The requester was the patron since they're paying for it to be done. That's what I was thinking. So Rena Moilinga would be the patron. That's what I was referring to it.
Right. But yeah, a patron is usually someone who is kind of vouching for you to bring you into a group.
That's fair. I usually think of just somebody who pays for something. So this person is paying the Thieves Guild to get their item back, so they're a patron of the Thieves Guild. That's what I refer to it as.
Like a patron of the arts. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like you go to a shop, you buy something, you're a patron at the store. This is just a service instead of a store. So that's why I refer to the arena as the patron, and this guy would be closer to our employer than she would be, since he's with the guild and we're employed by the guild. I think it's just a matter of we were referring to the opposites there.
Works for me.
Either way, if we give the bag to Rena, odds are it wouldn't be us that actually give it to her, so we wouldn't get all of them back. I would vote wait until nighttime, figure out which gem is the precise one,
Yeah,
and then we give that one back, and then the rest would be ours to keep.
yeah, I agree.
Fine with me.
So we can just hang out here until nighttime, and then we'll go somewhere inconspicuous in the city at night.
Yes.
Mhm. And so you guys hang out for a couple hours, have some nice food and drink. And for long, it's well into the night. You guys head out one.
I assume we're in just a completely distant part of the town compared to where we were at. We're not even remotely close to the South Market.
Yeah, sure. Totally.
It's not the same map, I bet, or anything.
No, totally not the other side of the wall on the same map. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically Wendell will just open up his bag and just kind of move the gems around so that the moonlight hits them and see which one starts to sparkle.
All
I'm
right.
gonna kind of just keep an eye out to make sure there's no like guards looking around for anything.
You notice a patrol of guards go by in a different distance, but you guys are even maybe not on the map, tucked away into an alley, and that you're out of sight.
Okay.
Don't seem to be. But you do dump all the gems out, and you get enough of a patch of moonlight, and you see that there is one particular one that does light up.
I will fish that one out. Tuck the rest of them away.
All
and
right.
hand it over to our boss.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Well, we should go turn this in, get you all paid for what you've done.
Excellent.
We all head back in. And he heads over to bank with you all. Places the crystal on the counter with the contract, and banker looks it over. Very well. We'll see to that does that miss back straight away. Opens up the vault, places the gem inside until it's burned, and pulls out 100 gold pieces.
Nice.
So that is, I think, 25 gold for each of us.
I would hate to be that
No,
guy,
not-
and I do not want to swindle you, but was the reward not 50 gold?
It was 50. I had the number in my head. Reina paid 100. half got taken for guild service. So he brings out 50 to you, hands over
Okay.
50. So let's see. 12 gold and 5 silver for each of them.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And let's see, also some experience in that reward as well. That gets divided up as well, so 250 experience points to everyone.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And for those gems, you're welcome to hold on to them. Trade them in here, they'll cash them out into something usable. Or if you want, we can get them appraised and see what you've actually got. That's entirely up to you.
Well,
I'll look over to
assumes
Wendell.
that they will appraise them in order to cash them out too.
Right.
So yeah. Let's see what we've got.
All right.
I must say, Wendell, I do like how you work. It's a little hectic, but you get the job done. I like that.
Oh, thank you. And your whole idea of the distraction was actually really clever.
Thank you. I've been working on that for quite a while.
So they look over the selection of gems. Most of them are in pretty rough shape. None of them have been finely cut and polished. And most of them seem to be of be semi-precious gemstones, or there's nothing like diamonds.
Right.
But there are, there's 24 of them there. And in the current state, they'll give you 200 gold for them.
That works.
Alright. Takes the gems in. Brings back a stack of platinum in this case, just to make it a little for you. 20 platinum.
Alright. And I will give 5 platinum to Nyx and 5 platinum to Hero.
Thank you. Seems fair enough to me.
Very well done indeed.
Well, you guys definitely did your parts. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get the rest of them without you.
Give a little nod.
Fluffy nods.
Oh, I see. You're too good to nod, so you'll have fluffy nod.
And Fluffy did more work than me.
Touche.
That's fair.
Yeah, Fluffy kind of got paid in fish.
He got a good meal out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely snagged a bite for himself for sure. So you guys enjoy the rest of your evening before turning in at some late hour of the night. Awake well rested the next morning. Perhaps not the most comfortable beds you've ever slept on, but they do alright.
That'll have to do.
In the morning, Phelan's like, there's some better beds that we've got, but they're reserved for the higher ranking. Keep it up, you'll get your own room.
I can't imagine it'll be too
looks,
long. I'll give a
Wendell
little
looks
smile.
like he's just had the best night's sleep ever.
Yeah, for lots of people, it's a step up from where they came from.
This is true. There's a lot of things that you can sleep in that's much worse than any of those beds.
That is quite true.
If you guys will excuse me, I'm going to run downstairs and grab some water real quick before we start on our next assignment.
All right, we'll take 5.
All right.
So, all had a nice rest.
We have indeed.
Was this a long or a short rest?
Short rest.
Okay, so I figured I'd clarify.
Because we're now on the
I get it.
the gritty, grungy, grimy, nasty rules.
A regular 8-hour sleep at night is now a short rest.
The Nega realm.
So, Phelan says, I'll help you guys out with one more. I think you guys will get the hang of things after that. He heads over and looks over the job board and plucks one off. Standard smuggling. I think you guys can handle this one just fine. What do you think?
That should be easy enough.
Yeah.
Does it say where the batch of the Phoenix is at?
Well, that's information they'll give you after you accept the job.
Yeah, it would include the location I just included in there.
How big is the batch of Phoenix? Can we have like a rough idea considering how much money it is?
It's probably a fairly sizable amount of it.
Like, how much would the retail value of it be?
Retail values probably on the order of low 4 figures in gold. A couple thousand, maybe.
Well, Wendell is going to take a look at that, do some mental math, which is probably one of the few things he's actually good at intellectually. I think we should pass on this one.
Do you think the risk to be that great?
Well, as far as how difficult it would be to smuggle it out, I don't really know. But I do know that none of us would be able to come up with the retail cost of what a batch that large would be.
Not at this time, no.
Phelan looks over to you. I'll tell you what. Just because I want to see what you'll do. If you happen to lose it, I'll spot you the cost. Cost of the... As long as you're not intentional using it.
Well, that sounds reasonable. Okay.
Well then. I'd say let's give it a shot.
We can do it.
Yeah, and in what form is the Phoenix in?
It is a crystalline sort of thing, and
So kind of like a powder.
yeah, large chunky, more large chunks than like a powder.
So
Yeah.
we talking meth.
Yeah, it's probably small gravel sized piece, and there's probably about a backpack.
Okay.
You guys are given the location of the pickup point, which is a small room off of a town, and also given the drop off point, which is in the woods a couple miles outside of town.
Okay.
So, the job is simple enough. You got to get it from A to B. How do you do it?
What are the So we got to get it outside the city, right? You said outside of the city.
Yes.
What are the actual exits to the city? Is it just a few gates, like one gate in each direction, or what? I'm not
It-
too aware of the city layout or anything like that.
yeah, so Lenore is just a large city you're in. It's kind of a southern gate and a north ports on the both of the water sides.
And where did it say we're heading to, or the drop-off point is?
Heading out this way.
West.
Got two main gates, one on each direction, two main ports, and a couple of smaller ports on the water sides, and plenty of streets, sewers, and other.
Well, looks like we have a couple of options. I can't remember, Wendell. Did you grow up in this city?
Yes.
Oh, I'll defer to your judgment then, as you've lived here longer. You might know a better way to get out of the city than I do. I've only been here for a handful of days at this point. I'm sure you've done plenty of sneaking around.
Yeah. Done a good bit. At least in the poorer sections. Haven't really left the city that much. But I sort of kind of have an idea. Maybe if you guys could help me flesh it out, it might work.
What are you thinking?
What if we don't sneak out?
We just walk out? Is the security that lax?
No, I mean the city guards at the gates are usually fairly alert. But Nix's pet is kind of an eye catcher. Nix, do you
Mhm.
do you think that Fluffy would be okay with, like, say, pulling a cart? Not a big one. One
Yeah.
that would be Fluffy size.
Oh yeah.
I think we get a cart that's appropriately sized for Fluffy. And we put the Phoenix into the cart and maybe have something on top of it. I don't know. What do goblins like collect?
What would also be a reasonable thing for us to leave the city with that wouldn't draw any attention?
Mhm.
Stones?
Unless it's a specific type of stone, I don't know why we would have stone in a cart.
they could be hers, and she doesn't like those anymore, and she wants to exchange them for other stones that she finds out there. Wendell has a completely blonde look on his face as he's saying this.
I'll look over to Nyx. I'm sorry, do goblins just collect stones randomly?
Well, no.
All right, so that would probably almost look more suspicious.
What were you going to say next?
That we don't collect stones? That's crazy. Who would want that?
What do you collect?
Valuable stuff.
And what do you guys consider valuable?
Stones.
No, pebbles. It's completely different from stones.
Damn it, you're right. I've heard they like fish. I know just the guy.
Maybe we could put fish on top.
Yeah, but then what are we saying that we're taking the fish out for?
Yeah, that would look very odd with fish just on top of the cart. That would look like we are trying to hide something. What are some of the other cities around that people tend to take to and from?
Colin, would I know anything from my background?
Let's see. Which background did you have again?
Smuggler.
Yeah, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, you'd know that anything considered a general trade good, as said, trade goods in the items compendium, would be unlikely to raise, any other notice. Spices, vegetables,
Ooh,
metals.
we could do spices up to tab.
I think something just simple like spices or vegetables could work.
Say, do you know what happens to be one of the main exports of Alinor?
Honestly, fish is one of the bigger ones. Got a lot of fish out of here.
Is Tav like just a small village or what?
Actually,
Tavern.
it
It's
is
just
a rundown tavern that basically gets used as a emergency shelter for travelers along the way, so they don't have to spend the night. Or, they get at least one night out of the island, having to take the road.
Well, then we probably wouldn't be doing fish.
Yeah, fish. I feel like Mudvayne would gets enough fish from their own stock. I don't know how much they would export specific fish to Mudvayne if we're trying to use that as a cover.
I mean, especially if that's like a really muddy area, like the name implies, then they're
Yeah.
probably going to have a boatload of catfish.
Hmm. Something like silk could be a very basic cover up. We could
Or-
say we're taking silk to Mudvayne.
Phelan speaks up. One thing you could do is we do source a lot of our timbers from the woods outside of Eleanor. You're going out there to cut down some trees, fill up with tools and whatnot.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, that would work.
Get some basic camping supplies in there just in case to make it look like it might be a couple days endeavor.
Yeah,
with a tent and
that's not a
some
bad idea.
axes. That would work too.
Looking for some very specific woods for a project you have coming up. Yeah, see that? That just work.
Would you happen to have those supplies readily available, or shall we depart to the market?
Oh, we should.
Something such as like a tent.
Well, the Thieves Guild Market might have it.
Yeah, we've probably got all of that stuff available. But enough that you could pass it off as.
And I'll look over. What about a fluffy-sized wagon or cart?
That
Don't know that we can help you with that. A little bit of an odd size for a cart. You making that?
Perhaps, Nix, you might know a place. As you are raising Fluffy, I assume you go shopping with them frequently. You might know somebody who
you
could
should take
make something
over.
like that.
I could look around.
I can also check with my various merchant contacts.
All I could do, I could scrounge the general marketplace to see if anything sticks out, but I'm not used to shopping for supplies like that.
But yeah, Wendell can definitely hit the lower end of the merchant area and talk to some of the different individuals that he knows and have helped out in the past, that kind of thing.
Right. All right. So you guys all go your separate ways to stock up on supplies and go ahead and give me investigation checks, everyone. Art. See how good you guys are at track.
Sorry, my eyes are driving me nuts. Wendell has absolutely no clue.
Fluffy does not know.
No. Fluffy found one, but he ate it.
So
Fluffy's back to eating the fish.
Hero, you have the most closest to success of anyone. You don't find a proper cart per se. You find a wheelbarrow that it's got two wheels, and you figure you can turn it around and strap it to Fluffy. Should work close enough.
This might have to do. It's not exactly what we want, but it would be better than nothing.
The other option would be to have something custom made. It'll take time and cost more money.
Just get the wheelbarrow.
How much is the wheelbarrow?
Wheelbarrow, 2 gold pieces plus an extra gold pieces for all the miscellaneous equipment. Sell it.
All right, I'll get. Don't pay the 3 gold for it.
Okay. So you load up, drop the cart to Fluffy.
All right, and I guess since I had no luck with the cart, I will just get camping gear while I'm out.
I think, yeah, Hero, Got that already too. Want that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, extra gold piece stuff.
Oh, stuff to make it look like we're going out to cut wood.
Yep. So you guys set up your makeshift cart and begin your treks through the city to go pick up the Phoenix.
And Wendell will carry one of the axes over his shoulder,
Okay.
looking incredibly proud of himself.
Mm-hmm. So you guys head over to the pickup location. You head down the small alley that you were directed to. There's a single door at the end of it.
Okay.
I'm assuming we were supplied a knock.
Yeah. Yeah, you were given a specific knock to use.
We shall do the knock.
Oh, alright. You give a knock. You hear nothing for a couple moments, and then several latches on the door come open, and a head sticks out and looks around at what you've got. And can I help you?
Oh, we're here to pick up the delivery.
Yes, very good. About time. And he goes back inside for a moment, latching the door behind him as he does, and a couple moments later comes back out with a large sack. Alright, here it is.
All right, and we'll move the other gear out of the way, get that sack down on the bottom of the wheelbarrow, and then load everything else on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get everything situated and head out and begin your trek through the city. Anything in particular that you're doing while going through the city?
Honestly, just basically striking up conversation between the group of us, talking about looking forward to being able to spend the night under the stars, and you know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
General convos.
Yeah, basically being very excited and eager. Like, this is gonna be fun. This is like an adventure.
Alright.
Basically, the complete opposite of what every smuggler does. Like, if I see any of the guards that I'm familiar with, give them a friendly wave as we're going by, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and you guys do make it through the city. You know, unchecked by the guards until you reach the gate, at least. But as you begin approaching the gate, you do see the guards do have a checkpoint set up for anyone coming.
Okay. Do I see any guards that I happen to be familiar with in any way?
No. None that you are familiar with, fortunately.
Okay.
So you guys, queue up in the line that's waiting for be processed to be let out. There's only a couple people in line, so it doesn't take real long. And before you know it, you're up to the guards, and The goblin guards come over. What business you have leaving the city?
Lumberjacking.
And you have a forest clearing permit?
Oh, we're actually not going to be clearing anything out of the forest. We're actually going and looking for very, very specific wood. So it will be very selective. We were told that you don't need a permit for that as long as it's gatherable. Is that correct?
Give me a persuasion check on. That's nope, nope. You gotta have a permit even for the littlest of wood clearing.
Well, I have a question then. If we're out on the road and we're camping, eh, we are allowed to gather wood to be able to use in our campfire, right?
Yes, yes, that's true.
Well, then why couldn't we use that instead for like whittling and stuff like that? I mean, we're not chopping down trees. I mean, if we find a broken branch or something like that, we might be chopping it up.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You whittle me something nice when you come back. I'll let you go this time. Better see something
Sure.
nice when you return.
Well, I don't know if I'll have it done by the time that I return, but yeah, I'll definitely bring you something. Are you usually stationed here?
Usually, but if I'm going to let you through, how do I know you'll come back with something? That could just be a ruse.
Well, I mean, you'll be able to see the wood that I'm going to be working with. And oh, what is it specifically that you would like to have whittled? I mean, some people like, forest animals, some people like humanoid figurines.
Could you do one of me?
I think that might be possible. I'd have to find some good wood for that.
But you're obviously good at finding wood, right?
That's the reason we're going out here.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you through, but I better see a goblin meat carved uh, within a week.
Should be able to get that done for you. Oh, and what's your name?
Uh, yes, my name. Let's see, what is my name?
His name's Bob. Bob the Goblin Guard.
The name is Triberus.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Tribulus. I'm Wendell.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm glad to see your permit's in order. Uh, best of luck. Stay safe.
Thanks. And
And I'll give
have
a
a
little nod.
pleasant shift.
I'll nod as we walk past.
All right.
So we will head on out to the meat spot.
All right. And you do that. It's just a couple miles outside of town, just off the road into the woods out of sight.
Okay.
When you get there, you see a single human female leaning up against a tree. Calls out as you approach. You're here to make a drop off.
We are.
Good, good. Let's take a look at what you've got. Make sure everything. She takes a look at the sack, opens it up, and takes a look at the product inside. Everything here looks pretty darn good, I think. Excellent. She gives you a receipt that you can, that you have something to turn in to say that they have received the shipment as promised.
Fantastic.
And
Say,
yes,
I was wondering, you know these woods pretty well?
more so than most.
I was looking for some wood that would be good for carving or whittling.
Yeah, if you see that big rock over there, you go there, take a right, you'll come to a clearing. Go straight through that, and you'll hit a little patch of maple that's quite nice for working with.
Oh, thanks.
She throws the bag over her shoulder and takes off in the other direction.
And I'm going to follow her instructions and hopefully find something that vaguely looks like it's maple.
Okay.
I'll follow him.
Give me a No, give me nature checks to identify these when you.
This rock is obviously made out of maple.
Wendell, that's a rock.
So it's a type of wood, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it was becoming quite clear to Wendell that never actually learned the difference between different types. They all just look like trees.
Yeah.
Here, let me help out. Let me see if I can find one.
You take a look around. You think you find the one that's maple? Leaves look like maple leaves, at least.
At least I found a tree.
I mean, that's better.
So you guys go about chopping it down, cutting off some logs, and filling up your little makeshift wagon with it.
Basically, just taking like branches down and taking off chunks of the branches, something that looks like it would be appropriate sized for various whittling projects.
Mm-hmm. All right, and before long, you've got to fill up the wheelbarrow with as much as it holds reasonably, and begin making your way back. As you're on your way back, can I get a perception check from everyone?
Wendell is doing exactly what I thought. He's got one of the smaller pieces of wood out with his dagger, and he is trying to figure out how whittling works, and he's currently making a point. Not
Everyone's
an even point.
got
but
to
it's a
start
point.
somewhere, yeah. Yeah, so as you guys are walking back, you hear the sound of some crunching behind you, of some sticks and leaves, and turn around just in time to see something charging at you.
Wendell screams at a pitch that is usually reserved for females.
Does Fluffy get his own initiative?
He should.
Let's I think so. It's time to read through your class now. We'll go with that for now, and I will try more thoroughly. Let's. Where actually has a turn because one. Not.
I hear music.
Oh, yeah, it's not wanting to come through on my end for. That's okay. Owlbear comes charging right up. Make a attack again. Hero. Hits you for damage, and he's gonna make a claw attack against Wendell.
Oh my god.
That was a nasty claw attack.
Instantly decimates Wendell.
Yeah, that was right. Okay. Now we will start the order proper. Nyx.
Okay. Swing My battle axe.
Okay. Hey, my music finally loaded. Did you not target it? I gotta make sure I target. Target. Or double right click on it.
What did you say?
Hover over it, press T, or double right click on it. There you are. I'll just go ahead and go with that attack though, just mark it off manually this time. Is that it for you? Got anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Alright. Phelan is going to spring into action. Run over here. Let's see. Three very nice hits. Wendell.
Yeah. That should have rolled with sneak.
Sneak doesn't get attached automatically, you just gotta make a separate roll with.
Ah. Gotcha.
Very nice. They're very sneaky on that attack.
And I'm going to utilize my bonus action to disengage
Okay.
and come right over here where if it tries to come after me, it's going to have a lot of opportunity attacks on it.
Right. Get absolutely shredded if it tries to come at you.
Hopefully.
Hero.
You know, Booming Blade seems like such a good idea. And then I'll also have a sneak attack on it because it's just making a melee attack against it. Did it actually make... I don't think it actually rolled the damage on the cantrip like I was supposed to.
No, it did not.
1d8. 8. I guess it's what it'll take if it moves. So I guess that's... I didn't roll the regular attack roll or damage. Because what it would do is it makes the regular melee attack, and that's perfectly well normal, and now it would take the damage if it moves, the thunder damage. So I just need the actual dagger attack. I just need the damage for. God damn it. Did a 13 actually hit?
Let's see. Yeah, 13 did actually hit.
Okay, so I should the damage roll on that. Oh. Well, 7 damage that didn't miss. And the 8 would be if it moves now before, what is it, my next turn or his next turn? Before the spell ends, which is 1 round. And then I'm gonna use my bonus action and also disengage.
So how much damage did you do to it?
I rolled a 7 for my dagger attack. So I did 7 damage, and if it moves, it would take the 8 thunder damage. And
Okay.
and a sneak attack for 3 more damage.
Oh, and the sneak attack for 3 more.
Yeah, that was another 2. Oh, it
That,
killed it.
that sneak attack did the last
Hell
couple
yeah.
of points it needed.
Well then, let's
Got even me off guard. Sorry about that.
hold on. Is there anything that we can do any parts of the owlbear sell for money? Or are they valuable?
Maybe. I'm sure one of my merchant friends would use it for something. I just don't know how much of it we would need. I'm also not really sure how to do it.
I mean, the meat would be worth something. All any significant amount of back.
I mean, we do have a wheelbarrow that's not that full.
It's true.
I'm gonna do my best to kind of carve the meat out of it.
I will assist with that.
Hell yeah! Does that mean I get advantage?
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth a try. I got some out of it.
It's not a real great butchering job. You managed to get maybe 50 pounds of usable meat off of it.
Well, perhaps you'll know somebody that'll want it still, even though it's not the best job done. It could still be worth enough.
Yeah, I can ask around. And I mean, maybe some of the feathers or some of the fur. Or, I mean, the claws or teeth or I don't know, something.
They could have value to the right buyer. It just depends on money. I mean, not the kind of thing the average person goes into the market looking for every day, but it just depends on how much effort you want to put into finding a buyer. Meat, however, easy enough to sell.
Yeah, I mean, when Wendell's going to at least attempt to pluck feathers, if nothing else.
Okay. It's a bit tricky between the butchering and the fight itself to find some that are in good condition, not damaged, not covered in blood.
Yeah.
And be actually reasonable size to be useful maybe or something. You manage to get about a dozen. Well,
Yeah. Good deal. I will put those in a separate location, maybe in my backpack where I'm not bleeding.
mm-hmm.
And we should try to get back to the
Yes,
city.
let's get back.
Yeah.
Rest and recovery on me. So you guys head back into the city. You pass by the gate once again. Do you say anything to Triberus as you go past?
Well, if he notices us, yes.
Yeah, he does notice you. He's still on shift, towards the end of his shift at this point.
Still holding my insides in. Give him a weak wave. Well, found a little bit of wood.
Got assaulted by a tree, did you? It's up.
Yeah, a tree with feather and furs.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
some of its meat.
Must have been a big one.
Yeah, it was pretty big. Huge compared to me. Pretty sure could have eaten me in 1 or 2 bites.
I bet. This isn't going to affect the little whittling of me, is it?
I might need to rest up a little bit. I got a little hurt, and I will show him the gaping wounds.
Yeah,
you.
yeah, you need some rest. I'll give you an extra day.
Yeah, you're a saint. And yeah, we head back to wherever we can head back.
Yeah, you find the nearest little portation hole and yeah. Phelan's like, okay, both of you got hit. Give you both a couple of healing.
Awesome.
That is supposed to actually pull that. 2 regular healing potions for Wendell and 2 for Hero.
Thank you.
Oh, that's tons better.
Indeed.
And we'll turn in the job,
Yes.
which I believe that's 50 gold each.
Yes, 50 gold
For the
each
split.
and 400 experience plus an owl bear. Uh, 575 experience. That includes the owlbear and the job itself.
Ooh, up to 1725. So after that is turned in, I'm assuming it's still daylight out,
Yeah, it's probably
correct? Or did we do that more towards the evening?
it's definitely more towards the evening at this point. You guys, had several miles of walk outside of the walls, plus the fight and the wood gathering.
Okay.
Between your smuggling and your other activities, it's probably been most of the point.
Okay. Well, then Wendell will probably get food, drink, rest. Um, and then in the morning, he will want to head over to his family, um, and ask around for a good wood carver
All right. Yeah.
amongst the merchants.
Go ahead and give yourself a short rest, and we'll send you back out to the markets to see what you can find for wood carp.
Okay.
Send you back out to generic marketplace.
Quick, let's head down to where the fish guy is.
Oh boy.
So you walk around, you find several wood carvers and carpenters around that would help.
Okay. Um, any of them people that I have helped out in the past that I'm familiar with?
Yeah, we'll say that one of them is someone that you've worked with briefly some time ago, but you have worked with them before.
All right. Well, I will greet them by name, and I'll probably go directly to them first,
Okay.
since I actually have some sort of a positive history with them. And I will bring over the chunks of wood that we had gathered up,
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, I brought you some wood for your whittling and carving and stuff.
This is certainly some wood. I do appreciate that.
A friend of mine told me that it was made, and that it's supposed to be good for that sort of thing.
And it works. And some of this here is maple. You mixed in some, looks like some oak as well, and some pine even.
Oh. I don't really know my woods very well.
That's okay. You never did.
Could I ask a favor?
Sure. What's up?
Well, and of course I'll happily pay you for your time and all. Well, there's a guard out by the southern gate, and I'll give him his name, Traxus, or something like that.
Hey, Cerberus.
Frivorous. I was wondering if you could carve a likeness of him. And maybe make it look, kind of manly.
Caricature sort of thing, make him look a bit better than he does.
Yeah. Well, make him look like he's, one of the brave guard of the city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I can do that. I can squeeze it in sometime. Say 2 gold pieces for just a simple little whittling of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's nothing simple about anything that you do. I've seen some of the work that you make.
Well, compared to some of those, this is rather simple.
And I will pull out 2 gold from my coin pouch and hand it to him. I trust that it will be a wonderful job. How soon would you be able to get it done?
Oh, got a couple other orders to get in. But this is kind of small. I could probably get it done in 3 or 4 days.
That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, just check back in, end of the week. Should be done by then.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate all your help.
Oh yeah, of course. Always happy to help a friend out.
And with that, Wendell will head out. And basically, one of the things that Wendell will be doing is keeping an eye on, his stall and his stand. If there's anything that looks like it needs fixing, or if there's anything that it looks like that Wendell might be able to help with.
His shop's in reasonably good condition. It's not quite the poorest shop in town, or poorest market in town sort of thing, so he's able to put some money into keeping it, upkeep, everything good.
Okay. But yeah, other than that, Wendell is good and definitely ready for whatever's next. Even though it looks like by the clock, it is
Yes, this will be our...
going to be time for us to wind down.
Yep, this will be our stopping point. Good, because I hadn't written any more contracts yet.
Oh, well, this was fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Good,
Fun.
good.